Welcome to the podcast. I'm Duncan McRae, and after nearly 30 years in the window cleaning industry, I'm sitting down with other window cleaners to discuss life in the game. We're not talking about some fluffy hack, some overnight success story. We're talking about real, honest, down-to-earth stories of people who know what it's like to be in the game, who know what it's like to go through the tough lessons of life. So sit back and enjoy this podcast, whether you're watching it on YouTube or through your favourite podcast platform. We hope it really benefits you in your window cleaning journey. So let's dive in. Well, I've got a great guest on the podcast today. Brock Torning is in Sydney, Australia. So Brock, tell us, how did you get into the window cleaning industry? And you've got an interesting story that we'll touch on a bit later, a little twist to the tale.
Hey Duncan. So originally I'm a heavy diesel mechanic. So I did that in Newcastle. And when I finished my apprenticeship, I then moved to Sydney, where I still did that work for a little while as a mechanic for a couple of businesses. And then one day I kind of was thinking about changing it up. A friend by the name of Jono, he said to me, "Do you want to try window cleaning?" And that was pretty much it. I did that worked for Jono for 3 years. He taught me how to window clean. And yeah, I guess we'll get into the rest of it.
Did you find it difficult to learn, like coming from a trade background? How did you find the transition?
Yeah, look, it wasn't easy, but it didn't take, it's not an apprenticeship. It doesn't take 4 years to learn.
That's right.
I think window cleaning is a great job because you can learn it fairly easily. Learning from someone who has experience, that makes it a lot easier. But yeah, no, I think it's a really good job.
So did you ever decide to go out on your own, like after you got the taste of it with Jono? That's Jono Bull, isn't it, from XPT Tools?
Yeah. Yeah. So his business El Toro Window Cleaning here on the beaches. Yeah. So his business El Toro Window Cleaning here on the beaches. And then yeah, he's got his own little thing now, Expert or XPRT, I think that's what it is. Yeah, he's the one who taught me basically how to do window cleaning, and then he actually used to work for Peter Erkin as well. So there's a lot of sort of connections there and history. But yeah, that's how it all sort of started for me.
Yeah. And what about your own show? You're getting into.
Yeah, after working with Jono I did that for about 3 years. I also hurt myself in that 3 years. I think about a year in, I slipped off a ladder and landed on a fence on my back. So that was on like a timber fence. It's got the wide capping on the top, and landed on my back, then bounced off, landed on my feet somehow. Turns out about 2 years later, I had an X-ray and I'd fractured a vertebrae when I was in a lot of pain. So, because initially I just took 2 weeks off work, and I took a week off work, and then I just got back to it. So after about 3 years with Jono, I had 2 other falls. So I had 3 falls.
Oh, no.
I'm not a small guy, so yeah, ladders and things like that. I'm not scared of them, but yeah, I've had a few falls. So I think
you're not like one of these ripped Muay Thai boxers that learn how to land.
No.
No, I feel your pain, mate.
I was doing things my smaller, lighter co-workers were doing, and it didn't work. So
yeah,
I think after 3 years, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to try something different.
Yeah, it reminds me, in my first year, a friend said, "Can you clean my father's apartments?" He's in Vaucluse, so they're in Sydney. So I took my ladder around the other side, because this was pre-water-fed pole, to get up to a bathroom window. But the only place you could place the ladder was on a mossy wooden deck. And while I was up there, it started to slide, and I rode it all the way down to the bottom and left 2 black rubber marks down the white wall, which was very scary. So I haven't hurt myself like you have, but oh yes, ladders. Yeah. So how did that prompt you to go into your own business?
Well, there was actually a bit of a gap. I did about, I think, 2 or 3 years maybe, metal fabrication. I take after my dad a bit in doing a bit of everything. I've always loved metal fabrication, welding and whatnot. So again, a friend who had a business doing sort of wrought iron restoration, stainless steel handrails, all that kind of stuff. I ended up working for him for a few years after window cleaning. And then when I got sick of that, I went back into window cleaning, and it happened that my father-in-law, he was moving from the Northern Beaches. He wanted to move up north, a bit warmer, so he moved to Nambucca Heads, and he had a pretty significant shop round.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of just sort of fell in place that I needed to do some different work, and I was keen to do my own thing. I should say, my wife and I. And yeah, we basically took over his window cleaning run, and we sort of paid that off over time. And that was COVID hit in the middle of that, so that really made it a challenge. We lost quite a lot of shops.
Yeah,
A lot of shops just went out of business.
that's right.
Sorry.
It was a tough time for shopfront window cleaning.
Yeah, basically we bought that window cleaning work, and instantly had a bunch of work to do, and then still picked up some house and strata clients here and there. So
Did you
yeah.
find you had a preference? Do you prefer the shopfront run, or did you prefer the combination, or did you have a preference for residential?
Yeah, I kind of liked it all. The shops were good. I think because of the consistency,
Yeah,
they were always there. There was always work to be done,
that's
and you
right.
have a lot of good clients, and you have some that are a bit, here or there with paying. Um, Getting paid from shop front stuff can be a bit painful. You're not charging them every single time you're there. It's usually tallying it up at the end of the month,
Month, yeah.
and then, as I suppose we'll talk about later, chasing up
Yeah.
money.
I do want to come back to that because
Mhm.
I notice on a number of forums it's a big issue with window cleaners currently is getting paid for the shop front, how to
Yeah.
go about it. So,
Mm.
and some people are even indicating that a certain demographic harder to get the money out of. So
Mm.
that's a challenge.
Mm.
But what would you say is the biggest thing that you enjoy about window cleaning?
I think it's probably one of the things I miss the most now, is just being outside. And when you have great days and it's beautiful weather.
Yeah.
I used to have a job right on Manly beachfront,
Oh,
and I
wow.
used to do it every single week. It was a sort of office, but they also had the unit next door, so it was like a conjoined thing. And they wanted their windows cleaned every week, so it was like a spectacular job of staring at the ocean, cleaning windows. It was amazing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you get your rain days, and you kind of have to just find something else to do. But yeah, being outside, I love being outside. So
Yes. Yeah, when I had my business in Newcastle for 5 years, I had Estebar Cafe on Newcastle Beach.
mm,
That was twice a week.
mm,
And she was so insistent that it get done twice a week. But Monday and Friday, there I was looking at the beach, having a coffee, cleaning the windows.
mm.
That's a great way to start the day. So, yeah.
Oh,
And your part of Sydney has great weather. You get the cold days and wet days. It's a great part of the world. So
mm.
I feel the joy that you just expressed. So you're not in window cleaning now. Everyone can see if they're watching this on video that you've got Window Cleaning World logo on your shirt. So Window Cleaning World is Australia's biggest window cleaning suppliers. I've been buying off them since 1997 of Peter Erkin. What do you do with Window Cleaning World?
So my title is store manager. Sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm much of a manager, but I do my best. I try to manage things and keep everything in order somewhat. There's 6 of us who currently work at Window Cleaning World, and ever since I started, I think it was February 21, I started with Window Cleaning World. Yeah, there was 3 of us, and now we're 6. We all sort of work 4 to 5 days. We're not all full time. So there's Peter, the owner, there's myself, and we got 4 younger guys. Jasper's been there for actually longer than me, and he's brought on other friends, his cousin, and we just have like a really good work dynamic. Yeah, we love pumping out orders and helping customers get the right gear. I wouldn't say we're the biggest one. There is a bigger one, a bigger player in Australia, but in terms of window cleaning supplies. But yeah, we try our best and we like to have fun.
Yes. Well, I noticed recently that you've gone to, we're only open from 1 for walk-in shopping, because I've
Mm,
done walk-ins at your place a couple of times when I've been in Sydney and in a couple of different locations, and it's great fun. But I noticed that you've changed so that you can be sure to get orders out that same day. And I've noticed when I've ordered from Brisbane, stuff's getting to me much faster than it used to be
Mm.
since you've made that change. So it's really, really cool.
Mm.
What do you enjoy about working in the supply side as opposed to being on the tools?
I think the thing that comes to mind is kind of the reason I got out of window cleaning, and I'll touch on that briefly. I, from working for Jono, was introduced to Peter Oken,
Yeah.
and buying equipment from him when I was learning. So I'd been a customer of Peter's for many years already, and then I think it was early 2021. I was in the shop to get some equipment. I just bought myself a really nice extreme pole, like 44 foot, spent like
That's
3 grand.
That's Gardner Extreme, isn't it? Gardner, yeah.
3 grand, saved up my pennies and bought this really nice pole. And then a couple of months later, I didn't need it. But so he just hit me up. He's like, "Hey, do you want to work in the shop? Like, can you?" And I was like, thought about it. I was like, you know what? That's really cool. Um, so I've forgotten what your question was. Please.
What do you enjoy about the difference? Being on the tools, being in
Mm,
supply side. What do you enjoy being on the
that's
supply
right.
side?
Yeah, that's right. My point was, I always have something to do.
Yeah.
And the problem with I found with myself with having my own window cleaning work, my own window cleaning business, I learned that I don't have the discipline to run my own business, is
That's
what I learned.
interesting. Mm,
Because, I've got the work and shop rounds, you can be a bit, here and there. You don't have to be there exactly the same time every week, every fortnight. I felt like I got slack.
okay.
So I feel like I thrive in window cleaning, at Window Cleaning World. There is always so much to do. I do not have enough time to do everything in my job, which can be frustrating because
Yeah.
I got all these things I want to do. We do so many different things at the shop, but I never really have time to just sit there and chill out, basically. So
Well, that's good that you're busy. Of course, you've also gone into content creation for the shop.
yep.
Yeah. So filming YouTube videos, which are very helpful for us who are looking at buying stuff or seeing how things work or how to put things together.
Mm.
Instruction manuals on paper are so last century. So having YouTube videos on how to do this is very
Mm.
helpful. So from our end, we're grateful that you're doing that down there.
Mm.
So of course, I guess you get phone calls from people who are buying stuff. You get people who walk in.
Mm.
They probably ask you a whole lot of questions that don't necessarily relate to the supply side, such
Mm.
as any tips on getting more clients or what should I do with here and there? How do you deal with those kind of inquiries from
Mm.
window cleaners around the country?
Yeah, that is a bit of a challenge, and that kind of stems from why we changed to 1 o'clock,
Yes.
because we were finding that we were having so many orders, especially on a Monday morning or from over the weekend. We would have a ton of orders. We'd have customers in from 9 o'clock, and we were very sort of distracted. We love having our customers in the shop.
Yeah.
We love being able to help and answer any questions anyone has. But there's essentially like an invisible queue where 70% of our customer base is ordering online. They're not
Yeah.
they're not in Sydney, and so we've got these customers who've ordered, paid for their orders, and they're essentially in this somewhat queue.
Yeah.
And we had customers coming in and wanting to spend sometimes hours with us, asking us all the questions they can think of, which is fine, but it just really cut into getting those orders out. And
Yes.
that's why we made that change recently to change to 1 o'clock. We trialed it on Mondays. We were doing it on Mondays for a while, and then we just had to make a call at the end of last year, deciding to every day we open from 1. If you need something urgently, which is usually like resin, if you need resin, quickly order it online, and you can come and collect it from 9 o'clock. But it's the browsing aspect and the one-on-one, help with questions and advice. That's when we have time now, is to do that in the afternoons after 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And it's helped us immensely. Like we 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 have the time to do it now. We're not
Yeah.
running around trying to answer questions, get products, and pack orders at the same time. So
And I guess if the order packing is interrupted,
mm,
it opens up the door for mistakes in the order.
oh,
Yeah,
100%.
that's right. So I can't ever recall not getting something that I'd ordered
Mm,
unless it wasn't in stock, which
mm,
would show on the website anyway.
correct. Yeah.
Um, So I couldn't afford it. But I think one time years ago it was a back order, but it wasn't a mistake. And I think the fact that you've got that new system keeps that tight. So
Mm,
so if someone like is a newbie comes
mm,
into your shop and starts that, at the browsing time and start asking questions about marketing,
mm,
how to get new clients and stuff like
mm.
that, what do you say to them?
We often recommend going to just checking out the Facebook groups because
Yes.
there's a wealth of information in there.
Yes.
And we always recommend use the search function. You got
Yeah.
a particular question, search it because it's often been asked 100 times and answered many times over. Um, we don't have a definitive like, hey, do this and you'll get more clients because it's not really our
It's not
point
your
of
brief.
expertise. I don't have much experience in trying to, you know, get more leads or the way my work kind of works is I worked for someone and I bought work.
Yeah.
So I think word of mouth is very powerful.
Yeah.
People love to talk, especially when you do good work. But yeah, that's a challenging one to answer. I usually say, yeah, go check out the Facebook groups because you'll learn heaps anyway. I have a friend he's sort of ramping up his own little thing on the side. He's been in the industry for a long time and he's starting his own sort of window cleaning leads he can get for customers, but it can be hard to navigate that one. It's like, do I do Facebook ads? Do I do Google ads? Do I do all this stuff? Do I do letter drops, door knocking? It's a tough one to answer that one.
It is. And I had one yesterday, marketing gurus who they're from a company and we market for window cleaners and we do this for window cleaners. And yesterday I said to this guy, I said, the thing that a lot of you marketing guys don't understand about the cleaning industry and window cleaning industry is that we are chasing repeat work.
Mm,
We're not looking at a brand new shiny customer every day off Google.
mm,
We want those clients to repeat, every month if they're a commercial, every 2 weeks if they're a shop front, 3 to 6
mm,
months, 12 months if they're a residential. So
yeah,
they're what you're chasing. So when you've got a stack of that happening,
mm,
not constantly looking for a new client. So marketing is going to be different. So hence the
mm,
word of mouth that you mentioned. So
yeah.
they're very, very, very
And that's
powerful.
and
So sorry, go, mate.
with that, we see a lot of customers come in who are wanting to start businesses from scratch.
Yeah.
And from what I see, it seems like the absolute hardest way to do it because they're trying to build a business and find customers and learn how to do window cleaning. That's obviously one way to do it, and many people do it. But I've seen people try it and get a bit disheartened because
Yeah.
after a year they're still trying to find
Yeah.
work.
That's right.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
that would be tough, and that's where I'm a big believer in go and work for someone
Yes.
because you'll learn those skills, and if you wanna learn quickly, that's how you do it is working for someone. And there's
Yeah.
there's guys out there who need guys. I see it all the time, but you need to commit to them. You don't want to do 6 months and then jump because they're not going to want to teach anyone if people
No.
keep doing that. So you got to go into it knowing that, hey, I need to give this company a year plus, and then you're gaining all these skills for you're getting paid to learn
Yeah.
essentially.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I've been on the tools for close to 30 years and I'm still learning new things. There's
Mm,
new types of glass being designed and situations and you think, oh, okay, how are we going to work on that one? So you're constantly learning.
mm,
Uh, it's been my experience all this time.
mm,
But it's helpful. And I must say, Peter Ecken, your boss, has been a good source of, particularly with equipment, not spending excessive time trying
mm.
to almost ask you guys to make my decision. Should
Yeah.
I, shouldn't I? What about this? You can
Mm,
only tell us what the
mm,
circumstance or what the equipment is, why you market it, etc.
mm.
Why you sell it.
And that sort of touches on like why I do the videos. It's not that I'm the only one who should do them, but it is such a busy job at window cleaning world that
Yeah,
it's very hard to find the time. And I have in my mind a backlog of so many videos I want to make. I'm just so time poor at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
And now with a newborn baby, that's not helping either.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
He's 1 month old today.
1 month old
Um,
Flynn,
and yeah,
Flynn
little
boy.
Flynn. But yeah, it's because the videos really do help. And look, they're not the most. They're definitely not professional grade. Directing and shooting and all this stuff. I literally shoot them on my iPhone, or one of my coworkers will have it. We've got a good microphone so you can hear what I'm saying, but pretty much most of the videos you see with me in it is off the top of my head because I just don't have time to, script it and
Yeah.
do all these bunch of takes. And so many customers are just grateful anyway. They're like, they don't care that it's not polished.
No,
It's
they don't.
just information.
Yeah.
I try not to waffle on too much. Like right now, I'm trying not to talk too much, but it's easy to do that. But for one video in particular is basically how to set up a water-fed package.
Yeah.
One of our most popular products, and it kind of blows my mind how many we sell, is water-fed packages.
Yes.
And you've seen how many we've got on the website. We have quite a range of them to suit, everyone who needs that. But I've got one video on there. It's a general video. It shows you roughly how to connect things, and things are, it's not rocket science. But that video alone has probably saved me so much time, saved all of us at the shop so much time explaining, because people will ask those questions and I'll be like, hey, go watch the video.
That's
not
right.
that I don't want to talk to you,
No.
but I've explained this 1,000 times already. So that's why, the videos are very helpful like that.
And we're in an age where you're not looking at going viral. You're just looking at instructing people.
No.
And so we're at an age where if the content is down to earth and easy to understand, which the ones I've watched about those different things are, that's really what window cleaners are looking for. They don't look for the fluff and the hype and all the moving fancy stuff drifting across screen. They just want something that they can look at, press play again if they didn't get it the first time, and be helpful. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now, I want to pop back to something you talked about earlier, and possibly this question may come up with some of the people that buy off Window Cleaning World. When you have clients that are a bit slow on paying, how have you dealt with that? And what are you hearing in the industry as to how people are handling those slow payers?
There's two aspects that I can sort of touch on with that. With Window Cleaning World, and then my experience with window cleaning. I don't know if you had a particular one you wanted to talk about, but I like what we do at Window Cleaning World. We have maybe one or two, what are they called, like account customers. And where they can order stuff, we'll send it to them, and then they'll pay, within a certain time frame, because they're, moving so much stuff. Pretty much every other customer, 99% of our customers are, you pay when you order or you pay when you pick up from the shop.
That's right.
And that is, I think that's a lot less headaches for us. In the window cleaning aspect of it, when you've got your own business, I have a very strong opinion about that now. If I was to ever go back into window cleaning, I don't think my back would allow it because of the pain. Every house client, so if you do like a residential job, they would be paying upon completion.
Yes.
It would be in the quote. We're window cleaners. We're not banks.
No.
You have to survive. This is our work. So yeah, residential clients would be paying when they're done, when they're happy with the job. It's so easy to take payments on your phone, on a Square or Stripe or whatever payment systems there are now. Shop runs are a little bit trickier because you're tallying them up at the end of the month. If you could set up like a recurring payment, then that would be ideal, but I don't think that would really work for shop clients. And then you've kind of got your commercial side of things, or Strata. I really like Strata work. It takes a while to get into Strata. I don't know if you've done much yourself, Duncan.
Yes, I do a bit of Strata.
I find that and it's not about being greedy, but the pay can be quite good with Strata work. But the process can take a while, to get the payment or to even get your foot in the door with Strata.
And then you've got to put the quote in, and then you've got to wait for the body corporate to approve it. Which their meeting might not be for 3 months, and so you're sitting waiting. And suddenly they want it done next week. So
exactly right.
It's tricky.
Exactly. And it might take a week after you've done the job, but it's not like they're evading you. It's they've got their process. But I think the one that caused probably the most pain was residential clients. I remember I had a lady who we constantly reminded, and she paid like 6 months later.
Wow.
I thought I wasn't getting paid. I kind of gave up, and then all of a sudden it was just paid. I was like, oh, okay. But I think for anyone new to window cleaning, I would say get the payment when you finish the work.
That's right. Well, when I started, people pay cash. So I was started on Bondi Beach, and by 10 o'clock, I'm walking around Bondi Beach with a bag, a lot of cash in my pocket after doing a sack of jobs. So, my wife was a bit nervous about Bondi Beach at that hour of the morning carrying
Mm.
cash. But, it worked. When we've gone electronic, I can pay later.
Mm.
But nobody pays later when they get a coffee from the cafe down the street.
Exactly.
You pay straight up. If you want
Yeah.
some food, same with the supermarket. They don't sort of, oh, well, come back and pay it next week.
Yeah. Yeah. You
So
don't.
it should be the same when we provide a service.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
I have got a retail client that insists on paying tap and go. They don't want to have to think about payment down the track. So
Yeah.
he pulls out his phone, he taps the back of mine, and
Yeah.
bang, it's in my bank. So that's really
Perfect.
good. So I think when this is one of the things that with new window cleaners starting up is
Mm.
don't just get the gear from Window Cleaning World or from whoever they're buying it from,
Mm.
but there's other things they need to set up as well,
100%.
including how they're going to collect the payments.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's Square Payment. Some carry their Square reader. I
Mm.
use Xero accounting software. They've now got a tap and go on the invoice, which connects with Stripe payments.
Perfect.
I'm using Squeegee app as my scheduling. They've got a link to Stripe or to Go Cardless if you do set up a recurring payment.
Yeah.
So you need to communicate clearly,
Mm.
particularly in quotes. So
Mhm.
I've had very few, the only couple of in 30 years that haven't paid, and we've had to write them off for being accountants.
Hmm.
It's really weird. So
Yeah.
I've only had probably three in the last 25, 30 years.
Mhm.
And my wife's got a great way of trying to get payment from a late payer. So we had one retail client who was 2 or 3 months late, and
Yep.
she said, sent him an email and asked him a question. Would you like me to write this off, or would you like to pay it now? And he
Uh,
paid it now. It was just a little like, you make the call here,
mm.
and so it's very tricky.
I,
So
li- I like that a lot because it's I find the same for me. It's the wives that get it done. See,
I do,
I'm too soft. I'm like, yeah, just pay it when you can.
yeah.
And my wife's like, no, we need this money now. And she will email or call them. It's like, hey guys, it's been 3 weeks. You need to pay.
Yeah.
Come on.
And the great thing too is now with some of these accounting, like with Xero accounting, you can set up so that a week after the due date, it will automatically send an email to the
Mhm.
client saying, we're just following up on the payment.
Yep.
And I can't count how many have gone, oh, and they paid. You get this payment and go, aha, they got the email today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really helpful setting up accordingly. Yeah. So
Mm.
i- i- if if you've got 3 tips for a newbie window cleaner starting out, what would they be?
You don't need to come into the shop and drop like 3, 4, 5 grand.
Ah,
Um, look, if you really want to do that, you really want to come and buy all the traditional and water fed gear. Look,
you'll
we'll
take the money
serve
off.
you. We'll serve you. I've seen it many times where I've got customers who come in and they want to. I've had a young guy, and I think he really got tripped up with the TikTok vids.
Yeah.
With this RO makes me $1,000 a day, and he came in and asking, "Do we have zero ROs from the US?" I'm like, "No, nah, we make our own here." And he came in and he's like, "Oh, like I need this RO." He had just enough money to buy an Xion Lite from us. He was working in Sydney. He hadn't had any window cleaning jobs, no clients. He said, "Oh, no, no, I know what I need to say. I know what I need to say to get clients." I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, man." Um, but he didn't have any poles, any brushes. He was just going to buy the RO, and it's like, man, you need more equipment than that. Sure, you can make pure water, but you need other equipment to do the work. So I had to convince him that this is not a good idea, man. I could have just been a scumbag and say, yeah, here you go, I'll take your money.
Yeah.
Here's the RO. But he ended up walking out buying, I think, an Ettore squeegee.
Yeah.
It's like, mate, you don't need an RO in Sydney.
No, you don't.
So
No.
we get many customers who do want to come in and just buy everything, and they haven't touched a window yet, or they've done a little bit of work. I believe you don't need to start off spending that much money with window cleaning. I reckon you can get into window cleaning traditional, and I think everyone should start off traditional.
Yeah.
$500.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That'll get
You've
you
got
at
to
least.
start. You've got
Yeah,
to start traditional.
yeah.
Before you do anything.
Because it's basically 50% of window cleaning or more. It depends on how you do it. You can't just do water fed cleaning. I mean, you could try, but and I think what else? 2 more tips. I'm a big believer in working for someone.
Yeah.
I know many people want to do their own thing, and I totally get it. But you will not learn faster than working for someone.
Yeah.
You can't beat it, but it does come with that sort of requirement that, if you want to be good about it, you want to give them a year, a couple of years or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think one other thing I see is guys trying to do everything. They're trying to do windows, pressure cleaning, soft washing, carpet cleaning. And it's like, mate, how much room have you got in your van? Like, I would get sick of it. You're going to have a storage shed full of equipment. You're constantly changing gear out.
Yeah.
As we see old David on the Facebook groups. He loves his KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that would be my third thing is don't go too hard straight up. Just try and keep it simple. Just do some window cleaning or.
So what you're saying is in tip number 3 is the power of niching. Having a niche, drilling down into that niche, really making it sing. Because it's something I'm going to talk about in a podcast down the track about niching, because there's a saying that I come across that riches are in the niches. So you can be pretty good at a lot of things, but you can be exceptional at one thing. So that's really interesting. So having a really good niche and being good at that. So that's excellent.
One area I've seen that prove true hugely is what I'm very interested in at the moment, and what we do a lot of at the shop is 3D printing. And I love the design process. I love the printing process. And I recently got a course for a guy who has started his own 3D printing business, and it now pays for it. It supports his family. He's done this massive shop build at home. He's got this really cool equipment, but he found his niche, and that's what you need to find your niche in 3D printing. Yeah. He makes these attachments that attach onto drop saws for carpenters.
Yeah.
And they make the dust extraction so much, is massively improved over the stock one. And it's these simple things that he's designed in 3D prints. He runs what they call a print farm. So he's got about 50 printers. He just prints those and sells those. He doesn't try and print toys and car parts. He's just one thing. There's a bunch of variations. But like you said, what was it? The riches
are in the niches.
So true.
Yeah. So, and we've proved that. We got rid of solar panel cleaning and pressure washing about 2.5 years ago. And since then, the turnover of the business has gone up 30%.
Wow.
And that's it. So I'm just focusing on high-end residential window cleaning and a little bit of shop front, but I'm not doing all the other stuff. So
yeah,
it keeps it simple, and it works very, very well. You can talk up and promote that angle to your business, which is excellent. Hey, Brock, it's been so good to catch up with you. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Pleasure.
Look forward to catching up with you through window cleaning the world, and looking forward to the next lot of videos that come out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be doing my best
because we love them. So thanks so much, and we'll catch up with you down the track.
No worries, Duncan. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to the podcast. I hope you got some real value from today's guest. We know that each guest brings something different to the table, hence the variety in my guests on this podcast. So if you got value from this episode, please share it with a fellow tradie or someone else in business that you think would benefit from it. And please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast through your favorite platform, whether that's on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.